Yo, so yeah, in case you haven't read this whole thing, basically what's going on is that I'm basically just gonna be rewatching Luis Duran's. I'd basically just be watching chapters 1 and 2 of Luis Duran's fan film Godzilla: The Force of Nature. And for those of you who aren't familiar, essentially what's going on is that I think in 2016, Luis Duran released a fan film called Godzilla: The Force of Nature, and it was his second fan film after Rise for Destruction, which had quite a mixed reputation. But yeah, then he released Force of Nature, and then I think in late 2016 he released in 2016 he released Beast Chapter 2, and I watched both chapters, and now in 2017 he was going to release Chapter 3, but it got canceled for a bit. That is until he brought it back from the dead recently, and it's going to be released December. So to get ready for that, essentially what I did is I basically just all I did was that I basically pretty much I just decided to react to rewatch chapters 1 and 2 and their respective deleted scenes. So yeah, and before we do that, essentially, and also I should probably also warn that, well, because this is kind of a face cam thing, since I'm pretty sure Lewis would appreciate that. So, for those of you who want to see the films, what I'm going to do as a compromise is that I'm going to be providing I'm going to be providing a link to the to the videos. Just got to do something real quick. Awkward silence. I'm just replying to something. So yeah, if you haven't heard of Lewis, be sure to check out his stuff. But yeah, now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna be checking out. We're just gonna be checking out. We're basically just gonna be rewatching the movies. So yeah, and like I said, if anyone hasn't seen, or like if anyone wants to watch it, then I will provide a sort of link in the chat. Right now, I already have chapter 1 prepared. Actually, wait. Okay, so the link should be there. So the link should be there to anyone who wants to watch. And also, just for Lewis, similar to my reaction to the first trailer to the new version of Chapter 3, I have my SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 Special Color version, and it's a really nice looking figure, actually. So yeah, what we're going to do is that we're going to be. Why am I even repeating myself? Oh, let's just get this over with already. That just made it seem like it's a bad thing. Luis Duran presents. Can't believe it's been like a couple years since this movie came out. Okay, so here we go. I really like how this was all handled with the water, the grass, the sky, almost everything about this scene. Now that I think about it, I think this might be one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Just because of the sets. Like, it's all done so well. We have John, I think this guy's name is. Whoop. It's Ebra. And that's another thing. I really like how it kind of shows Ebra in the water. Yo, that looks so cool with the claw in the background and with John in, in the foreground. Yeah, this is probably one of the best parts of the. Yeah, this is probably one of the best parts of the movie. Yeah, the title screen. What I think a shot from GMK. I think it was from the opening credits of GMK. 2 weeks later. Terrible. I love how John's head is just like let's say this is the pillow and this is his head. It's like I don't know. It's like below the pillow. I know it's probably because it was part of the background, but still. Deborah. I want my privacy. I can see a cassette tape. Cassette tape. Eh. Yeah, I can see a cassette tape. Then again, this movie is like 2 years old. Yeah, if I do anything weird with my jaw, don't be too concerned. It's fine. That was a sweet looking Ebra figure, though. If I remember correctly, I think that's the ultimate Godzilla series. I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure it's a series of 4-inch figures released for Godzilla Final Wars. And honestly, I think Millennium Ebra looks a lot better than the original Showa Ebra. I just think Millennium Ebra looks cooler. Leap into. Don't you just hate it when a giant lobster is just when you're in a helicopter and a giant red lobster decides to leap at you and crush your friggin' helicopter? I hate that too. Again, I love how it kind of has Ebra in the grass. Like those kind of stuff is what I really like. My arm. Man, he should not have gone ahead of himself. You may crucify me when you're ready. I'm kidding. Get rid of that body. Are you sure you can't just like use it for Red Lobster? You'd feed a lot of people. Australia airport. So yeah, what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna be rewatching chapter 1, and then after that's done, I'm gonna watch the deleted scenes for that movie, and after that, chapter two, and then after that, chapter two's deleted scenes. I really like how he kind of moved the male Muto. I love the lighting here. It's really nice. Oh, I love how he moved the front legs or the arms. Basically, the two orange arm-looking limbs. Oh, here comes Rodan. Oh God! He destroyed an entire car. Well, that's cool. There's a horse in his mouth. But yeah, he touched the car, it exploded, and it became disintegrated. Rodan is the most powerful monster in the universe confirmed. This is not good. Such enthusiasm. Well, I shouldn't say enthusiasm, but nope. Top notch acting right there. Wow, look at this enthusiasm. Look at this great acting I'm giving off. Oh yeah, Lewis. And if anything I'm saying seems cruel, I'm sorry. Don't take it too personally. Oh yeah, I remember you showed that off. I do have a bit of Rise Goji fan art. Godzilla Rise for Destruction 2 leaked footage confirmed. Imagine Godzilla Rise for Destruction 2. That's basically one of the Godzillas is awake. But yeah, wouldn't it be hilarious if there was Godzilla Rise for Destruction 2, which was basically a ripoff of Godzilla King of the Monsters? Leaked footage of Godzilla Planet Eater. But yeah, wouldn't it be funny if there was Godzilla Rise for Destruction 2, where instead of Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah, it was Batra, a large Cerebum, and Kaiser Ghidorah? And like I said, the whole thing was basically just a ripoff of Godzilla King of the Monsters. That'd be so freaking hilarious. Do it for April Fool's Day! Do it for April Fool's Day! Hey, Lewis, I challenge you. And of course, make it look as bad as possible. Basically, keep it in the spirit of Rise for Destruction. Oh yeah, that old model. Rise Goji model that was used for Rise for Destruction. From what I understand, rest in peace, old Rise Goji. But yeah, from what I understand, I think Lewis I think he accidentally put in like some kind of microwave or oven or something, and that kind of caused the whole thing to melt. Still better than Rise for Destruction. Oh, we have Super Mario Godzilla. I love how John's just staring into the horizon. It's like, I'm sorry, John. Rest in pieces, man. He can't do anything if you die by accident, John. We have some GMK music, which may or may not be copyrighted. That's actually really nice angles. Yeah, we have Kiryu Goji himself. What's funny is I think in these, like, he's referred to as Godzilla 2000 in the description of these videos. And while I understand why this was originally a Godzilla 2000 figure, I think it'd be more accurate to call him Kiryu Goji or Godzilla 2002. Oh, that's another great shot. But yeah, I think then again, SHMA would go on to make an actual Kiryu Goji figure earlier this year, so oh, that was some really good shots. That's another great shot. I will give Lewis this. He does have some really nice cinematography. This all happened really quickly now that I think about it. That's another thing. This movie's kind of short. It's like 22 minutes. We have Super Mario Zilla's speech going against Godzilla. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Okay, I should stop. Da-da. Oh, I really like that scene with the bridge. It looks really cool. Oh gee, I wonder what's. Oh gee, I wonder what movie that reminds me of. Oh, that's a really cool shot. That's probably something you're gonna hear me say a lot in this stream. Oh, here comes Rodan. So let's see, how does this movie hold up currently? I like the little dust cloud effect it has going on. I love how he just like the way he pulled off the atomic breath charging thing. The smiles look like they're actually glowing, which I really like. I kind of want to know how to do that actually, especially for something I thought about doing regarding Godzilla. And now the Muto. So now we have Rodan and the Muto ganging up on Godzilla. Kind of reminds me of that supposed meme that was going on when Godzilla 2014 was being hyped, because I think in the main trailer there was a shot of the male Muto just coming down from the sky, and some people thought it was a Rodan, and people kind of made a meme out of that. So it's kind of funny that we have Rodan and Muto going up against Godzilla, and now we watch. Get whipped, boy. Oh snap! Crowd's getting serious. Okay, the fighting here is definitely better than Rise for Destruction. Oh, I'm sorry, Rodan. You're still alive? Let me blow you up. Oh, we have here Kirikoji's new ability. I like how you made it gold. Here we go, boys! Ripperoni. That is a really cool ability, though. Having Godzilla shoot multiple beams from its mouth. I remember Lewis said that he came up with this long before Shin Godzilla was a thing, or at the very least, before we knew about Shin Godzilla's dorsal plate and tail beams. I'm curious to see why he didn't use those abilities in Chapter 2, though. I'm sure they would have helped a lot. Okay, so there's a scene where he's about to get bombed. Spoiler alert. Do I hear a bit of Zilla's title theme in in the background? That's kind of cool. Oh, that's cool. He kind of had Godzilla open his mouth, or excuse me, open his eye. Critical mass mode. Let's go again. Again, why didn't Godzilla? Oh my gosh! I wonder what movie this reminds me of. But yeah, I'm curious. Why didn't Godzilla 2002 use the multiple mouth beams thing and the whole critical mass mode thing in Chapter 2? I'm sure they would have helped a lot. I'm sure they would have helped a lot in Chapter 2 against Shin Godzilla. I'm curious to see if they're going to return in Chapter 3. Because if not, it kind of makes you think, well, what's the point of putting him here if you're not going to use him again? I don't know. It just seems kind of pointless. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I don't know. And he's dead for now. I really like the orange lighting it has going on. Oh, I like how you moved the head. Does it too good. Oh god, he emerged from the ground. Either that or he can teleport. Is anyone questioning? Wait, why do? Or actually, wait. I think they already established that there's multiple Godzillas. I'm curious to see why these two Godzillas aren't fighting. Do they have some kind of history? Are they related? Like, are they father and son, brother and sister? Oh, wait, never mind. Someone else mentioned there's another Godzilla. But yeah, I'm curious to see what their whole deal is. Like, are they related or are they just friends? On here's Rise Goji. We have a Godzilla vs. Destroyer moment here. And that's another thing. Does Rise Goji have history with Rodan? Like, were they allies? I don't know. It's just like a lot of questions that are coming from here. Foreshadow for Chapter 2. Uh, Kirigoji, are you coming? Coming with him? It's weird how like when the other Godzilla's Rise Goji, Kirigoji suddenly dropped his rampage. He's like, we have a more. I have my bros. Better join them. I'm sure it's more entertaining as crud. I do like 24/7. Now Kirigoji suddenly roars like G14 for some reason. First he sounded like Millennium Godzilla. Now he's Showa. Now he's Godzilla 2014. And here we have the teaser for Chapter 2. Rip Mothra. Rip Mothra Leo. And yours, Violenti. We have G14. I really like the mountain background you have going on. And now we have Shin. And now we have the credits, which is basically who will know. Now, as for how this whole thing, the film was alright. It's definitely better than Rise for Destruction. It was only problem is the end where like I think part of the problem is like because of how short the movie was, stuff happened real quickly. But yeah, other than so far it's okay. So yeah, while going through the credits, one knows all much. Okay, so the movie's pretty much over. So now we're about to go with the deleted scenes. However, I'm kind of going to skip to 601. And again, I'm going to provide a link to the deleted scenes for Godzilla Force of Nature Chapter 2. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go for the Chapter 1 deleted scenes. And we're skipping straight to the actual deleted scenes themselves. We're skipping the trailers. This feels a lot like Godzilla Final Wars. And now we have a montage, which totally isn't like Final Wars. Except unlike except like this time it's showing the various fan films throughout the years. Oh, Asusa Productions Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla video. A lot of people were triggered over the ending of that. Even though technically either way Godzilla would have won, since Ghost Godzilla is technically a Godzilla, so really there's no reason to get mad. Especially considering that a lot of people love the original Godzilla, so again, there's no reason to get mad over the endings, so. Wait, was that in 2014? I mean, those toys weren't available. The 2014, the Bandai Creation 2014 toys weren't available until like early 2014. That's an interesting redesign of Godzilla. And then Rise for Destruction, the fan film that divided the whole fandom. Personally, at first I thought it was mediocre. It was just like, not terrible, but not amazing either. It's just, eh. But when I saw the deleted scenes for that movie, I was like, oh, oh God, what is this? Oh yeah, this scene, Godzilla's Rage. Luis Duran actually posted that, and basically what he did is like he took the audio of this one video and pretty much just like refilmed it. Whereas Goji's Rampage, fittingly enough, in Milwaukee. Oh God, people can float on buildings. Yeah, it seems obvious that this whole thing is supposed to. I'm pretty sure, in terms of scenes, Rise of Goji here is supposed to emulate Zilla. It's funny that we see Rise Goji here destroying cities, even though in the previous one, in Rise for Destruction, he was a good guy. And it kind of makes sense that Rise Goji takes Zilla's place, considering, again, how divisive his movie was. Ripped that one guy that was that was being chased around by Rise Goji. And then we have a Godzilla versus Gorath moment from Final Wars, except instead of Gorath, we have Godzilla 90s. I can see the rectangular boxes around the atomic breath. Oh yeah, when I saw this video, I think the Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah scene with Kiryu Goji against GMK Ghidorah is one of my least favorites. Because one, there wasn't much sound going on other than music, and the few sound that did go on was with King Ghidorah, and he spammed the same GMK Ghidorah. Lewis spammed, put, used the same, played the same GMK Ghidorah sound effect over and over again, and I was a really big fan of that. I think what I would have preferred, like, he didn't even have to use Showa and Millennium Roars to vary, or Showa and Heisei Roars to vary. Like, he could have stuck with GMK Ghidorah Roars, just don't play the same sound effect over and over again, because then it gets annoying. He used the same GMK Ghidorah roar twice in a row. But yeah, try not to use the same roar clip to, over and over again. Just don't do that. Like, tip number one for people who are wanting to make fan films or fan series, don't spam the same roar or sound effect. Don't spam the same roar over and over again, because then it'll just get annoying. Like, don't just only use one roar clip thing or whatever. It's then it's just because then it's just gonna get repetitive and annoying. And now for some reason there's no sounds. It's possible that he wasn't finished editing his sounds, but still, it's kind of weird. It's possible that this may have been done for dramatic effect, though. And then we have G-Fan Works, was it? Their arrangement of Persecution of the Masses. If you were to have put this scene in Force of Nature, there would have been basically been two King Ghidorahs. The Heisei Ghidorah and Millennium Ghidorah. What's with that? Actually, wait, I have to rewind a bit. Oh, okay, so I guess we had a... Oh, okay. I don't see an atomic breath, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to give off a Final Wars effect. So yeah, the scene wasn't finished before it got cut. Okay, so I guess that's why there wasn't a lot of sound effects. So I'm guessing like he didn't add enough sound effects before he decided, you know what, I'm not a big fan of this. And then we have a Godzilla Final War moment. Except instead of Godzilla versus Zilla, it's now Kiryu versus Rise Goji. So yeah, a lot of the scenes so far seem way too similar to Godzilla Final Wars. What's interesting is that in this scene, Godzilla 2002 looks kind of wet, or he looks like he just came out of the water, which is interesting. We have Godzilla's beam rage, which this is kind of different. I love how Miyamoto just looking at this guy's like, oh god. And then the final big battle with Space Godzilla. So I'm assuming Space Godzilla would have been the Kaiser Ghidorah. This scene was cool, although there was a problem, a big problem actually I had with it, which is coming later. I like how we kind of have Space Godzilla impaling Godzilla. We have audio taken straight from Tokyo SOS. Realistically speaking, shouldn't there technically be blood? Where would Space Godzilla come from anyway? Hey, he just came out of nowhere, basically. Like, what? Here's the scene I was talking about, I think. Godzilla starts roaring, and Space Godzilla just suddenly has a flashback. And what is a flashback to? Rise for Destruction. Why? A lot of problems I have with it. Problem number one, why is Space Godzilla having a flashback? Two, why Rise for Destruction? He wasn't in that movie. Was Space Godzilla a clone made from Godzilla, Rise Goji's and Ziltrodon cells? What? A, a lot of questions are raised from that scene. But yeah, why did Space Godzilla a flashback to Rise for Destruction? What was the point of the flashback? What was it about the current situation that reminded him of Rise for Destruction? And again, why did a flashback to Rise for Destruction? Lewis, if you're saying this, please answer. I mean, I know I technically shouldn't be worried about this anymore because it's a deleted scene, but still, why? Oh God! As soon as he saw Rise Goji, Kiryu Goji just tried to murder Rise Goji. Good Lord, Godzilla 2002, what do you have against him? You have some kind of personal vendetta against him? Why? Why do you hate him so much? Why are you trying to kill him? What did he ever do to you? Maybe he saw the Rise for Destruction and thought, "Oh God, this is terrible. I need to kill whatever Godzilla was in this." Maybe this Godzilla was maybe this is the original Godzilla, and the souls of the fans who didn't like Rise for Destruction came together and revived the original Godzilla, and we have and Kirigoji's the result. That's why he's trying to murder Rise Goji. Film theory. Also, what is Godzilla Jr. doing there? Again, he didn't really have much point here, so We didn't even see him before for this particular scene. As cool as these scenes are, I'm kind of glad they were cut because if they were kept in the movie, yes, it would have been an improvement over Rise for Destruction in terms of visuals, but in terms of story, not much. Because if these deleted scenes were kept in, if these deleted scenes were kept in the movie, this would have been way too similar to Final Wars in the same way that Rise for Destruction was way too similar to Godzilla 2014. Not only that, but there would have been that flashback scene, which would have served no purpose whatsoever. I think that my main criticism here is with the deleted scenes are, again, the Godzilla vs. Ghidorah fight scene. It being way too similar to Final Wars. And stuff that was in there that wasn't really needed at all. Stuff that didn't really have much point in being there, and it kind of raised more questions than anything. I like how he's trying to move Godzilla's tail, though. Kiryu, I mean. Whereas Goji's like, go on without me. Oh, now Kiryu not trying to murder Rise Goji. And then we have the Final Wars ending theme. That is some really nice lighting, though. That is straight up Final Wars right there. That scene is straight up Final Wars. So yeah, that was the deleted scenes of Godzilla, the Force of Nature. And again, as cool as these scenes are, I'm glad they were cut because, like, I'm glad they were cut because again, it would have looked way too much like a Final Wars knockoff, or I shouldn't say knockoff, but if those scenes were kept in, it would have been way too much like Godzilla Final Wars. And again, there's the problem of the scene with Space Godzilla. So yeah, now we're going to be looking at Godzilla: The Force of Nature Chapter 2. Oh yeah, I forgot to put a link to Force of Nature Chapter 2. Actually, just to double check that I copied the link. Okay, so now we're ready. I'm at 23 seconds into the video. Black Angel's playing G14 versus Shinboy. And I have my Vanna Vinyl Shin. Shinboy, let's go! Spider webs. That was a massive spider web. Oh god! How big are those mountains? How big are the monsters here? Are they in the 100 meters range? If so, then how big are those mountains in the background? I've been frozen today! I like how he kind of tried to make him look gray. Godzilla, the Force of Nature, Chapter 2. And we have Miyamoto and Fire. Is that the Marvel? Is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe logo theme I hear? Oh, I like how he kind of tried to make the humans look tiny. That's cool. It's better than Rise for Destruction, that's for sure. I like how you had Rodin's eye closed. How wrong you are, Rodin's still alive. I mean, he even showed it in the trailers. And Rodin's turning blue. I'm pretty sure the blue might have been an effect, a result of Rise Goji doing what he did in the previous chapter. I don't know if this was intentional, but the way you made him blue here kind of reminds me of concept art for Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, for Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla '93. Where basically, there was supposed to, I think there was concept art of Rodan in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla '93, and the concept art depicted Rodan as blue. So I don't know if this is a reference to that, but if so, nice touch, Lewis. And how does the whole thing that Rise Goji did work? Is it something where maybe he has the, as well as few some other monsters have the ability to revive other monsters, and the monsters that are revived, they have that ability is kind of passed on to them, and they can pass it on to others. That's how I kind of look at it. We have some unestablished location. '95 is roaring with his mouth closed. And it's 2002. And then we have Junior from the deleted scenes of Chapter 1. So yeah, I'm assuming he was going to use Junior for Chapter 1, but he ended up saving Junior for Chapter 2. This is the scene that I kind of have criticism for, and this is one scene that I kind of have a problem with in Chapter 2 for a couple reasons. The first reason, well, just look. Well, you can't look because it's just my face, but yeah, when 2002 looks at Junior, 2002 seems to get a flashback where I guess what's going on is that he gets a flashback to an island, and it shows the same figure that's being used for 2002 with a with a little Godzilla, and I kind of have two things to say about it. One, that totally does not remind me of Deadzilla's Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah fan film. Nope, not at all. The other thing is, what is going on here? Is the little Godzilla 2000? Like, what's the little Godzilla here in the flashback for? Was it Godzilla 2002's? Was it a son that Godzilla 2002 previously had, or was it Godzilla 2002 as a kid? I don't know. It's stuff like that. I think that's one of my main criticisms. Stuff happens for no reason without any explanation whatsoever. I think the point is, if the flashback doesn't have any point, it's best not to put a flashback. That's not the best green screening. Oh god, Godzilla 2002 is transparent. Parent. Film theory. Godzilla 2002 is a ghost. He's the ghost of the original Godzilla. I was right. I was right. He's like GMK. He's a ghost. Also, whose son is Godzilla Jr.? Is it 2002's son, like in the deleted scenes, or is it Heisei Godzilla's son? We have Rise Goggia in the distance. I do like some of the music choices, though. Oh, that's a really nice shot, actually, of Heisei Godzilla. Oh, hey, it's Rodan. Oh, you didn't search for John earlier. I mean, to be fair, there were a bunch of monsters, but still. Are you sure? Super Mario Zilla. Of course you gotta scream in your face. That blood wound just suddenly appeared somehow. I don't know how, but... Which one? Ebra? Rodan? Shin? I don't think he ever said what monster he wanted to study, so which one was he talking about? Was it one of the Godzillas? Was it Shin Boy? Was it Rodan? Ebra? What's going on? But yeah, again, that kind of poses the question: how big are the mountains? Oh, wait, we have Rodan. Leaked footage of Godzilla King of Monsters. Oh no. Shin is out for blood. Rodan's like, no! How would you kill my friend? We have Shin doing his old purple milk kind of thing. G14. I don't think trying to deflect it with your hand is gonna work. Oh, Rodan sacrificed himself. Taking it for your friend. Oh, that's cool. He kind of had Shin going between the mountains. Red outline. There's a red outline around Rodan. Probably around for the green screen. I will avenge you, Rodan. I will avenge you. Having Rodan kind of become blue is kind of pointless, considering he got killed off quickly, like Michigan. Hey, Rise Goji. Oh, it's Shin. Trying to ambush Shin Boy, I see. Wait a second, are those buildings I see it behind Shin? I see. I thought I saw fallen little buildings behind Shin. Rest in peace, Rise Goji. At least it would have been. If it were the fact that he's somehow still alive in Chapter 3. We have defeat is no option. Oh, that's a nice shot, actually. I'll admit, some of those shots look pretty sweet. Oh, that's a really cool shot. That totally does not remind me of Shin Godzilla. The shot. But yeah, one of my main criticisms of the film, one of my criticisms for the film was the scene with Junior, because again, didn't really have much point. Other than maybe characterizing the Godzillas and giving them some sort of a motivation to protect Junior from that thing, from Shin. But still, other than that, nothing really much. There wasn't much point. I don't know. In some shots, he does a nice job making the monsters look huge. This kind of reminds me of a fan film I kind of wanted. I remember in 2016, I kind of wanted to do a sort of Godzilla 2014 versus Shin Godzilla fan film, where basically, it would have taken place between Godzilla 2014 and uh and Godzilla King of Monsters. We have Shin Boy, glowing purple. I love being purple. Oh, that's cool. He kind of tried to do a sort of foam thing for the dorsal plate beams. It's almost 6, so I'm probably gonna have to be a bit more quiet because that's when my brothers come in here. That's usually when my brothers come home, so probably gonna have to be a bit more quiet. Which Godzilla? I'm curious to see how they're gonna classify each Godzilla. Like, attack Godzilla. Which one? That one. No, not that one. I want that one. The one that looks like a Hiroshima victim. I'd be curious to see if they're gonna give these Godzilla individuals names. And now we have a scene that totally isn't a rehash or copy of the atomic breath scene in Shin Godzilla. This was another. This is another criticism I have for Chapter Two. There were scenes that felt like they were ripped straight out of Shin Godzilla. They felt way too much like the Shin Godzilla film. Like the way I the way I mentioned that the way I mentioned that destruction 14 and things for Force of Nature Chapter 1 were too similar to Final Wars. Same thing here, except here this is too similar to Shin Godzilla. I mean, I don't know if I should judge, but still. And I think that's actually something I mentioned to Luis Duran about in a comment when it was revealed that Force of Nature Chapter 3 would be coming back. I was thinking, oh, this better not be a rehash or a copy of a previous Godzilla movie. And Luis assured me that it's going to be a completely original movie, which is nice. A rehashed scene is all I see. Again, there was no hard feelings. It's just me being a silly person. Uh, I like how I really like how he kind of had Shin Godzilla open his mouth and split. Uh, a copy scene is all I need is all to keep this movie going on. I am so sorry to anyone who joined in on the stream. To me, doing a poor cover of Who Will Know. Oh, that's a really nice shot with Shin's tail slithering behind him. That's actually a really nice shot, especially like the background. Only problem is, again, this feels way too much like the Shin Godzilla atomic breath scene in Shin Godzilla. It almost feels like you took Shin Godzilla, the movie, and you kind of decided to put the monsters from Force of Nature in there. Then again, I'm not sure if I should judge since kill this thing once we knew about it. What are they talking about? Again, this is kind of another thing. Stuff happens without explanation. What did they mean when they knew about it? What was this something that they studied, or is this what John was talking about? Did he know about this? What is going on? But yeah, I'm not sure if I should judge, considering that G14 versus Shin Godzilla also would have used the idea of Shin Godzilla evolving throughout the movie. But yeah. Oh yeah, and it also has that sort of 2 weeks kind of thing, which again, way too much like Shin Godzilla. That heartbeat thing is kind of cool though. And then we got the final battle. Here we go, the final battle. I really like how they kind of have three Godzillas: Heisei Godzilla, Godzilla 2002, and G14. Pretty much just like fighting Shin. I like how they're all ganging up on him. It's almost like a pack of wolves or a pack of velociraptors who's ganging up on like an animal. Yeah, break Shin's arm or rip it to his shoulder. I don't know what went on. Oh God, what was up with Shin's neck? You know, Godzilla's. You could spend that time you're roaring on something more useful, like attacking Shin all at once or something. Just saying. One of my favorite things about the final battle here is the song that plays. The song that plays. Like, the song really helped make the fight seem more epic, which I really like the song used here. I don't know what it's called, Lewis. You ever watching this? I'm kind of hoping you should sort of song plus because it is so cool. Hey, so I got knocked back. Shin used dorsal plate beams. It was super effective. And there goes. This was my favorite part of the theme that's playing here. I just love it. Seriously, Lewis, you're gonna have to tell me what theme that is, because oh man, it sounds so cool. Fight, monsters, fight. I love that background with G14 squaring off against Shin. I love that background with the flaming background. Kiss of death time. Here we go. Rest in peace, Shin boy, or at least it would have been if it were for the new version of Chapter 3. Because I think back when before Chapter 3 got canceled, before it got revived, I think I remember that it seems that Shin would have stayed dead because Shin, he wasn't anywhere to be found. Instead, it would have had Zilla and something Lewis made up called prehistoric Goji. In fact, I think I remember he tried to make a puppet like out of that. What's going on here? Why are they trying to come from him? Is it because of Rodan's death? Was Shin someone there from? Was Shin a Godzilla that was corrupted? That G14 knew that was eventually corrupted or mutated? Again, it's stuff like the stuff that happens is stuff that happens without explanation. We don't know why it's going on. Which, again, I'm kind of hoping that builds up. I'm kind of hoping Chapter 3 expands on that and make it actually make sense. We have Rodan here. But yeah, based on the recent trailers for Chapter 3, it seems that Lewis scrapped Zilla and prehistoric Goji and decided to have Shin somehow still be alive. The film sometimes videos kind of tend to lag, I guess, or something. Breathe life into the Mothras. and the monsters turn blue. Again, this kind of raises the question: what's that for? Again, that kind of raises the question: is that some kind of thing that rises Goji as well as a few other monsters are born with? The way I kind of look at it, the way I look at it is like again, I guess my personal headcanon for it is that basically someone born with the ability to revive other monsters, that kind of thing, and the monsters that are revived can pass on that, can revive other monsters and pass on the ability to revive other monsters. That's how I look at it anyway. But yeah, chapter three, it's not even out yet. Chapter 2, it was all right. Oh, so I can see somebody's already liked the video. Lewis, I don't know if it's you, but if so, thank you. But yeah, chapter 2, it was okay. I remember when I first saw it, I thought it was good, but inferior to chapter. Good, but inferior to chapter 1. Like mainly because of the story. Again, like mainly because like the way that some scenes were way too much like Shin Godzilla really kind of hurt the movie in my opinion. But yeah, now we're going into deleted scenes for chapter 2. But yeah, whoever liked the video, thank you. Or actually, wait, let me ensure that by the time I let me ensure that the but yeah, time chapter time I'm gonna do a live stream. I show letters for that, or if I want it to be face cam. Just gotta just making sure. So yeah, the link to anyone who wants to watch it. So yeah, since okay, so let's get started. And again, since it's 6 and my brothers usually come in around 6, I'm gonna be a bit more quiet because I don't want an incident like the 64th anniversary stream again. Godzilla wasn't there a previous movie like that? I'm kidding. Godzilla's Farms. Oh, okay, so I guess it seems to show that originally, I guess Shin would have evolved throughout the movie, which I guess this makes a bit more sense regarding what was the line regarding the "we should have killed this thing once we knew about it" line. This makes a bit more. This kind of helps make this a bit more sense, but while this scene is kind of cool, one, there isn't any sound save for the music, which I think Lewis might have said this was because I think Lewis said the reason why this didn't have sound was because it just wasn't finished before it got cut. But yeah, my criticism here is that again, it feels way too much like Shin Godzilla. Like in G14 versus Shin Godzilla in the fan film I was going to do, yeah, I would have had Shin Godzilla evolve throughout the movie, but I would have kind of tried to have it be creative, where Shin Godzilla, pretty much he would have come ashore to feed off of radiation after the nuke that went off at the end of G14. The end of G14. And pretty much, I imagine a scene where Kamada-kun or Shin Godzilla's second form would have went atop this sort of nuclear reactor to absorb it. G14 kicked them off of it and would have, and pretty much it would have had a little fight between G14 and Kamada-kun. And Kamada-kun would have evolved, would have mutated into into Shin Godzilla's third form, the red Tyrannosaur-looking thing we're looking at now. Would have mutated into that. That's another thing. Do people want to see it? Like, because there are two reasons why I kind of abandoned that idea. The first reason is because, like, the first if I remember correctly, the first reason why I scrapped that movie. Oh God, I'm trying to remember. One of the reasons was because fan outrage. I didn't want people to whine about the ending of the fan film, and I know there was a second reason I abandoned it, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, do people want to see it? You guys want to see it? See it brought back? Like, let me know. Oh yeah, I think the other reason why I scrapped it was because I felt Shin Godzilla vs. Godzilla 2014 was done to death. Because a lot of people already did that because Japan's newest Godzilla versus America's Godzilla. Let's go. Who would win? A lot of people kind of did that kind of thing, and I basically didn't want to feed the fire that was already gotten so big. Like I felt that pretty much the main reasons why I abandoned the idea of the fan film were because age and B, I felt the idea was done to death.